I started working when I was 14 years old. I started with different things. I started making newspapers, working with media publications. I just transitioned into stunt riding somehow.
Which was this first big project that you got?
The first project was for Intel.
What was this project about?
They had an app store at that point of time. So we had to create a tutorial video for it. And we were given like a week to do that, but I did it in like 2 days.
What age did Aniket join you? What age did Daikait join
Some
you?
teenagers,
They joined you that early, huh?
and people from Dehradun should understand that Ghar ki murgi is not dal barabar. They are skilled. They understand. You have to give them the opportunity to do it. Otherwise, you're losing a lot of talent and the talent will go out. The same guy is going to work with the agency in Bombay, come here and do that work through that channel. जो वो यहीं से कर सकता था.
In 2009, a young boy from Dehradun had a dream. The dream was to go ahead and create a community of creative minds. He did not know how, why, and where to go with this. This community eventually became a community of artists, and they call themselves Team Evolution. Writers, filmmakers, graffiti artists, and even dancers. Today, Team Evolution is not just a community. They have become a powerhouse amongst the youth of Dehradun, Uttarakhand, and people across the country. Though he's shy, he does not come in front of the camera much. He decided to join my podcast. I'm talking about Lakshya Khanduri. I'm fortunate that he agreed and has decided to come onto our podcast, spend some time with me, have a conversation about how Team Evolution began, what was the journey, and how he brought it here, mentoring this entire group of people. In the podcast today, we are going to discuss his journey, what Team Evolution is, who were the members, the founding members, how did they take it forward, and how did they influence the youth around them, of Dehradun, then Uttarakhand, and how did they create a culture that eventually became a rage. Join my podcast, subscribe to Arun Bhagwati Chronicles, like and share this channel. Please tell your family and friends about us and have a wonderful time.
Hey, hi guys, welcome to Arun Bhagwati Chronicles. With me is our very own Arun Bhagwati. And for the first time, I'm doing this introduction and I got this honor to be here. I asked Arun that we can reverse these roles basically, and I should be, like asking questions to him because again, talking to him, understanding with him, he has immense experience as a writer. And I don't know, I have a lot of things to say about him, but it's an honor to be here and, talking to you.
Thanks, Lakshya. Thank you so much. And to the audience, I want to actually go ahead and do that little introduction, which Lakshya's already done. But Lakshya is my guest today, and I have known Lakshya for a while now. In fact, a large part of my storytelling journey began when I went and met Team Evolution at Lakshya's studio. Brilliant group of people, and it was very intriguing for me to meet his team, meet him, and one thing that stayed with me forever, and I think it's always going to be in my mind, is that he is not just creative. He has the ability to manage a team beautifully and keep them together. A lot of us work with a lot of people, Lakshya. A lot of us work with a lot of people. My first question to you is that, I have a lot of questions today, but my first question to you is that how do you manage to keep such a large group of creative minds together? Creative people are crazy. Yeah. How do you manage so many of them together so well?
First of all, thanks a lot for this introduction. Basically, I was just belting it right here, right? While sitting, because you were right, basically, with a lot of people, to manage, and especially creative minds, because they're all around, always, they're not structured. And you can't put a structure to creative minds. And you yourself is a creative mind. If I ask you to, yaar, ye 9 baje ye karna hai, wo karna hai, you will like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah. Can we say these words here?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it has been very difficult, but I have naturally grown into this role because I never wanted to manage people, because I myself is a creative mind. I make films, that. So, and as professionally, I make films. So I myself had to structure myself in a way that I can operate with people who are in corporate, especially because I'm catered to brands, Royal Enfield, Audi, agencies, and I've been doing this work for like last 15 years, and what I've learned from them, especially in the corporate structure. First of all, I do not condemn that, that way of working, because I really love that way of working. It's because that is structured, that is understandable, focused, and it's easy to expect things, and get things done. So I had to find a balance between understanding from that point of view, and with these creative, I have to understand how this can work out. So today, if you ask me, for people that I'm working with, they do not have like a very big horizon of what we're trying to do. But in my mind, I always know कि for the next year or like 1-2 साल में, we have to do these things. बड़े goals हैं, वैसे goals हैं, and then basically they divide into tasks, and then basically we all come together and work on it. The best thing is when you give too much to a creative mind. If for you or yourself, and I just correct me if I'm wrong, when you're writing, you can't think of an entire book. You have to think of a scene.
Yeah.
That's how it works basically. And similarly with I think managing people, it's work really like that only. You have to work with scenes, and
so you have people like Aniket.
Yes.
You have Daikait.
Yes.
Yeah. These guys, they have been with you since they were young boys.
Yeah, very young. Yeah.
Very young. You yourself were very young when you began. I know your story.
Yeah.
But for the audience, I really want to kind of, open up that box. I want to start from scratch, because it's an extremely inspiring story. I got to know a bit of your story even before I met you. So, and then eventually when I met you, I remember you'd come to my house.
Yes.
And then I told you that I know a little bit about you, and then we kind of got friendly. But it's a very inspiring story. And I genuinely mean this for a lot of young people who are aspiring artists who want to get into the art and media field. This story is one of those rare, unspoken stories, and it is a must hear for you guys. So I'm going to open it up by first saying that please start off from that inception, that point from where this journey began. What was that driving force that got you into this journey? And then how did you begin this entire journey? How old were you?
I don't think my journey is that inspiring, but if you're saying that, I take it. I'm not saying that I'm not taking it, but I've seen very bad times, to be honest. I lost my father when I was 11 years old, and my mom went into deep depression, and both of us, my younger brother and I, were in school. I usually don't talk about this because a lot of people will like, "Yaar, ye to apni dukh ki badkani suna raha hai, aur matlab he's trying to," and I never talk about it. But that has taken a pivotal role basically in my journey. Basically, jab my father passed away, I started working when I was 14 years old. I shouldn't say that.
No,
but yeah.
It's inspiring, and I remember you mentioning this earlier as well to me. Please go ahead.
So I started with different things. I started making newspapers, designing newspapers basically, getting them printed, and working with media publications. And then, I don't know, I just transitioned into, stunt riding somehow. I wanted to do stunts. I was like, at that point of time, in teenager hota hai, to like ubla hua खून उबलता है ना आपका कि कुछ तो करे. So I started stunt riding. Then when I started stunt riding in like 2007, I opened my YouTube channel because I found that this thing, which has been still seen as a taboo today, stunt riding, is something that people don't understand. So I didn't know how to tell this to people, but I wanted to document myself and my people who were, doing stunts around me, and just wanted to put it on YouTube. That's what I wanted to do only, because a young mind cannot understand how to, describe what you're doing. And in between that, I was also struggling with mom because my both parents were doctors. So my mom stopped practicing. Our clinic was closed, so there was no source of income in our house. thankfully like my father has had, मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगा कि like हम लोग बिल्कुल ही मतलब उस पे थे. My father left like good. He passed away like ऐसे एकदम से, मतलब कुछ ऐसा था नहीं कि मतलब कि कुछ बीमारी चल रही थी कुछ थी, but suddenly just he had an heart attack and he passed away. But he left good things for us, a good home, you know, some good investments and good उन्होंने छोड़ के गए थे. But these things can work for some time only if you're not making money, you know, like in this world.
Yeah.
And when you're a teenager, you know, you do not understand the dynamics of money and money management. And I was the only one who had to do it because my younger brother is like 7-8 years younger than me. अब आप imagine करो उसमें like he was like a
Baby.
literally like a kid, but
Yeah.
like, you had to hold him. So yeah, so at that point of time I started basically investing and वो सब समझ से लग गया था मैं, but again it just ran off, like all the money and all everything ran off. Then I met Vinit. If you remember,
Banshy.
I told you, Vinit Banshy. And that time Team Evolution aa chuka tha, we were doing stunt riding, we were putting good videos, we were getting 20,000-30,000. That point of time views, मतलब उस time पे आ रहे थे when internet was not a thing, you know, and YouTube तो पता ही नहीं था लोगों को कि होता है कुछ. In 2007 and 2008. So in 2009 I met Vinit sir, and he basically commissioned a project to me just to check कि like can this guy do something or he's just be बोल रहा है कि. So and I got a nice paycheck. So I was like अब तो जिंदगी भर मुझे यही करना है, you know, like I don't want to do anything else. Then again, you know, like my journey with content started with him, basically, you know, like developing content. But in between all of this, basically again वही parties और वो करना ये सब भी चल रहा था.
Yeah.
But because you had to find that way, you know, like, and I don't know, I'm just struggling with my thoughts right now because it's basically, I don't want to go into that. My mom used to say some things ki जो बुरी चीजें होती है ना वो आपको कभी याद नहीं रहती, सिर्फ अच्छी चीजें याद रहती है पुरानी. And that's the best thing about a human mind basically.
Yeah.
वो भूल जाता है दर्द, पेन और ये सब. So I have to dig deeper. I'm also writing something around this, by the way.
Oh.
But just for myself, basically journaling and stuff.
Okay.
Just to keep those memories alive, basically. क्योंकि होता क्या है ना, you tend to lose all those memories. वही बुरी memories ना चली जाती हैं. But it humbles you. It tells you basically कि where are you coming from. It tells you who are you. And it's a reflection basically. And how long you have come from that. But I'll not dive deeper into that part of my life. But I'll say that, yeah, it still humbles me whenever I go anywhere. I'm like a small town. There are a small town kid basically, you know, trying to do something that is always in me.
So here I found two things in your story. One, that there was a tragedy that propelled you forward.
Yes.
And while it propelled you forward, you somewhere in between found a mentor who gave you a kickstart.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very important two things in life.
Absolutely.
You gave direction to your pain.
Yeah.
And because you gave direction to your pain, you found a mentor, and that mentor gave you further direction forward.
Yes.
So
I think he gave me a platform.
yeah. Vinit is again another very interesting person. I'm planning to do something with him. You know,
you should meet him. Like I think you'll.
It's been a while we've been talking about it. I think I should catch up with him.
Yeah.
Coming back to you, so 2009, we are at 2009, 2010. Which was this first big project that you got? If you want to name the brand, it's good. If not, it's Intel. Wow.
The project was for Intel.
So what was this project about?
They had an app store at that point of time. So imagine app stores are coming now. There was no Android and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Intel came up with their app store. It was called Intel App Up.
I've heard.
We had to create a tutorial video for it, like a 8-9 minute tutorial video. And we were given like a week to do that. But I did it in like 2 days. And it was like, ye kya karke laaye ladke?
So how did you, such a young boy that time, bump into Vinit? Because Vinit and I used to work in GE together once upon a time, right? Yeah. So how is it that you and Vinit crossed paths?
So I think he left his corporate life and came back to Dehradun. And in I think 2008 only he started 8 or 9, I don't remember the year correctly, but he started his own audio studio here, Audio Vegan, and Jingles India karke company he started. And one of my friends, Ramneek, we wanted to do a rap song at that point of time. So we were looking for studios in Dehradun, and I went to that studio. I was like, studio to jana hai, shoot, matlab like record to karna hi hai. There was just hopping studios, and I came across him basically.
Okay, so
So he was like, and we were like, so he can also tell you that we were like 10 young boys, basically, you know, like just getting into his room like anything, smoking cigarettes. अब तो मैंने छोड़ दिया, by the way. But you know, like, Vinit was like, Vinit was sharing, do you want to smoke? And he was like, he pulled out his packet, you know, with 20 cigarettes. So 10 हमने निकाल ली. And everybody like lit his own cigarette. हमने कहा यार मैं cigarette दे करके.
so superb. So 2009, 2010, this is what was happening. You guys were looking for studios and you guys were looking at recording. So what was that inception point of Team Evolution getting its name?
Yeah.
Who were the initial members of Team Evolution?
Yeah.
Who came up with the idea of Team Evolution? I want to dig into the Team EVO bit because when I came to Dune and because I am of slightly different era, I have friends who are also into music and I went to a concert and somebody mentioned about you guys.
Yeah.
So I was very intrigued. So when I heard the name, the first thing this guy he showed me was Saurabh Benjwal.
Okay, yeah. He's like a very talented dancer.
So he's like a veteran that
yes,
belongs. Yeah.
Still, he's like, everybody knows him.
Yeah. So I heard Benjwal's name. I saw the video and then I saw one of you guys doing some graffiti.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
This is like old time stuff that I'm mentioning. Yeah. मैंने homework करा. I did my homework. So I saw the graffiti work and I was like, okay, these guys are different. And I was like, these guys are in Dehradun.
Yeah.
So my friends were like, yeah, they're like, you should connect with them. Because by that time, the word had spread that he's come back to Dune to write. I came back after, I don't know, 15, 17 years. You know, after school, I left.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, maybe at some point I'm going to meet. But I didn't even know who to meet. Like, you know, Team EVO is one thing, but who to meet. So can you tell me, like, how did it start? Who were the minds? Who was the first group, bunch of people?
It started, I think, in 2007 only.
Okay.
So we didn't put a name to it, to be honest, when we started off. So I'll tell you how the idea became. So we were doing stunt riding, and you know, because you can't do stunts on road. It's illegal, and there is no place where you can do stunts. So we had to do there. So, and I knew a couple of people who were doing the same things, not professionally. Like I always tried to maintain that professional part when I was doing stunt riding. Though I was doing it on the roads, but I always wear helmet. I always were wearing gears. You know, like I wanted to basically do it professionally. Is what I meant. So similarly, I met a couple of people: Shardul, Agrim, and some people from Haridwar, basically, and some people from Roorkee. And you know, like we thought, we started practicing together. We wanted to have a वो होते हैं ना जब बहुत सारे लड़के जो outlaws वो होते हैं ना जो
मिल जाते हैं
कि वो था मतलब और फिर वो शेयर भी करते हैं, अरे वहाँ से वहाँ पुलिस आ जाती है, वहाँ नहीं करेंगे, यहाँ पे करेंगे, ये जगह थोड़ा सेफ है. तब BHEL also was developing अपना हरिद्वार में, तो वहाँ पे कुछ थी नहीं फैक्ट्रीज उस टाइम पे, तो हम लोग वो वहाँ पे करते थे.
Endless arid land.
Transport Nagar was developing here. तो हम वहाँ करते थे stunt riding, and we were finding spots and we were connecting. And उस time पे ना it was also very difficult to connect with people. Today basically we also had like smartphones, मतलब like phones तो थे, smartphones नहीं थे, phones थे, but it was still very difficult to get in touch with people. You know, like कि groups नहीं बन सकते थे, WhatsApp वो नहीं हो सकता था, मतलब like it's very easy today, no? To get people together at one place. So it was very difficult to, you know, like communicate with people. सबसे ज़्यादा मुश्किल काम मुझे लगता था डे वन से हमारे लिए था कि कैसे प्लान करेंगे, हाउ विल वी गेट टुगेदर, यू नो. सो हम लोग वी प्लानिंग फॉर लाइक 2 weeks अहेड. हम ऐसा प्लान करते थे इस तारीख को फलाना जगह पे फलाने टाइम पे हम मिलेंगे बेसिकली करके. एंड उसमें SMS चलते थे, फिर रिमेंबर, यू नो, लाइक यू सेंड एंड पैक्स आते थे, 100 SMS का पैक और ये सब. सो वी यूज्ड टू जस्ट सेंड SMS एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट. We started doing it, and I also started YouTube channel, started documenting it, putting out there. We never thought that we're developing a community. That way, basically, we never thought, because we were young boys. हमें पता ही नहीं community होती क्या है.
How old were you that time?
2019 बहुत 17 साल का था मैं.
Very early start.
हाँ. And because हम लोग ने बस अपने नॉर्मल तरीके से पढ़ाई करी, कॉलेज गए नहीं, हमें तो पता ही नहीं ना कि आधी चीजें कि क्या होती हैं. एंड वो होता क्या आई थिंक when we started our YouTube channel, no, that time I thought we were thinking कि क्या नाम दें इसे. So we started with different names. हम कुछ ऐसे ही लिखते थे पहले, RSR करके लिख दिया, कभी कुछ भी लिख दिया, Rebel Soul Riders, और कभी वो लिख दिया, कुछ भी लिख देते थे. आप समझो, we never, name was not that big for us basically. हमें ऐसा लगा कि we should be called something.
Yeah.
So for a couple of years it went like that only. But the foundation was that. If you ask me where did it started, that was the moment where it started basically. The outlaws coming together, like in doing stuff. Then we thought there are more art forms like us. Dance not a taboo.
Yeah.
But it was not appreciated. And the kind of dance people were doing here.
Exactly.
Graffiti. And I was very highly inspired from Western culture, because I always thought मैं यहाँ के पैदा हुआ, मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगता है, but I'm not saying कि गलत बात है, मतलब मुझे लगता है कि I belong there. मुझे ऐसा नहीं होता कि, and
that's an age also.
हाँ, that's an age, and you were like कि I was always into snapbacks, and when Dehradun, the fashion was like day one से
up there.
हाँ, वो नेपाल से कपड़े आ रहे हैं.
Yeah.
And वो blues pants, कब से चल रहा है, मतलब अगर आप 2000s में भी जाओगे ना, people would.
मैं तो 90s की बात कर रहा हूँ. 90s से it's been like that.
90s से it's been like that. It was always inspired from Western culture, like Dehradun city.
Yeah.
Also यहाँ British influence है, यहाँ का architecture वैसा था.
City of
Ruskin Bond, we've been grown with Ruskin Bond अंग्रेज हैं, ये है वो, मतलब समझ रहे हो, though is a पहाड़ी only.
Yeah.
But we were grown like that. कि यहाँ पे मतलब कि British वो था, ये था, तो I was always like कि घंटाघर हमारा architecture, Ashley Hall, उसकी history,
yeah, true.
So I was very highly inspired by Western culture, and I felt that especially black people, because उनका expression इतना out, मतलब like इतना, it's awesome basically. मुझे लगता है कि they have no boundaries. They're like out there, they're loud, and I loved that always.
Same here.
So and I have a lot of friends basically, and so anyways, so basically that's what got me inspired, and I when I found these people doing the same things here and had like similar vision, similar art forms, so we just started getting together. And
so how did the name Team EVO come? What was that day? What was that day or that evening or that?
So we haven't like marked our day, but I think in 2008 we were in Haridwar. We were doing like just in like on the tower, we were stunt riding. We were just sitting, and we were having a conversation that we should call ourselves something like a good name, And for like 2-3 days I went back. So the idea came, वहाँ पे आ गया था कि कुछ तो नाम देना है. But we came back and we started thinking. Everybody started thinking कि क्या नाम होना चाहिए. And very kiddish names were coming, like, and my vision was like, तब समझ रहे हो कि तब से मतलब like I was thinking like that only, मतलब कुछ सोचा ऐसा सोचना है जो never ending है, कुछ वैसा है, कुछ वो है. But my point was like always that. So the evolution what came from one of the stunt. So Haridwar में ना somebody was doing stunt riding, but these guys were always like वो evolution करते रहते थे, and they were also stunt riding with us. So I basically asked them कि यार हम लोग साथ तो कर ही रहे हैं, and I like this name basically personally, and this is where evolution word came in.
So Team Evolution. So evolution came here. How did the word team come in?
So one of our we were doing a stunt tour. We called stunt tour. So basically a lot of stunt riders come together and वो city visit करते थे लखनऊ, and then like going to different cities. चंडीगढ़, तो हम चंडीगढ़ गए थे, and रोहन भैया करके हैं, and उनके साथ हमने, he is also filmmaker, so we documented the entire stunting session, and we had like all fun, मतलब पूरे मजे करे. And then when we made जब हमने उसका वीडियो बनाया ना, तो he was doing the credits. So he wrote without even asking Team Evolution. And I was like, we are a team.
Yeah.
So it was never came out of me.
But
Basically,
it organically happened.
it organically happened.
Oh, that's really nice.
So people gave it.
Okay.
The team gave it basically.
So
for themselves.
has Team Evolution evolved like the way its name says? So from the time that you guys started off, you must have been a group of X number of guys.
Yeah.
So has it changed and remolded?
Yeah, a lot of people have come in, a lot of people have gone. And
who are the oldest guys in the community right now, apart from you and Dhruv?
Agrim, Shardul,
Okay.
Varun, Tenzin, these people.
They're the oldest. They've been there from the beginning.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the next phase of our conversation, there is a lot of youth, okay, that knows you guys. There is a lot of people who feel that we want to be a part of Team Evolution. And one thing that I noticed, now I'm talking about youth and your influence on the youth of Uttarakhand. How did this thing happen that anyone on social media has their name written and Evolution written in front of it? This is a very big thing, you know. How does this happen? Everyone. I mean, I'm surprised.
You're right. And I do not have like a direct answer for this, but I'll tell you like what started happening in 2010. So 2010 we used to do 2010 इंटरनेट आ गया था, लोगों के पास पैक्स आ चुके थे, सब लोग इंटरनेट वगैरह कर रहे थे, चला रहे थे अपने घर पे. People started seeing our videos and they started seeing where we were practicing. So you won't believe, as soon as we stepped out of our home with our stunt rides, 10-15 people used to follow us wherever we go, like with their bikes.
Random.
So that started happening in 2010. And people can still tell you that, जब भी लोग निकलते थे तो मतलब उनके पीछे मतलब पूरा एक रैली चल रही है मतलब.
Really?
And we had to figure कि यार इनको कैसे हटाएं मतलब like अपने आसपास से. Because
I want to come back. I'm so sorry I'm interrupting. I want to come back. You guys would decide as a group कि हम लोग कहीं घूमने चलते हैं, and random people from the road on bikes would start
just waiting outside of our home कि ये इतने बजे निकलेंगे types, and we'll just follow them to their place and we'll just watch them practice.
This is stardom.
Yeah. That point of time, it was the only thing. No Instagram, no WhatsApp, nothing. People didn't even click our photos at that point of time.
But this is stardom, Lakshya. Seriously.
I'll not say stardom, but people used to enjoy us seeing us practicing, is what I can say. People used to enjoy people doing stunts. Aaj bhi, if I'll tell you, let's go downstairs and I start popping wheelies right now, the entire place is going to huddle up. Some people will stop me, of course.
Yeah.
But they're going to like huddle up. एकदम से आ जाएंगे देखना. कभी भी ऐसा हमेशा ऐसे होता है मेरे साथ.
Next time when you guys are grouping up somewhere, मुझे call करना. I missed that one that happened at Raipur.
Yes.
I missed that one. I was caught up that day. But the next time you guys are doing something together, I'm definitely dropping in.
Yeah, man. And
I still remember you invited me for that one.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, the influence on you. See, I'll tell you why I asked you about this EVO thing. Everyone's name has EVO written in front. It's a very strong branding mechanism.
I think, but it naturally came. So I'll tell you, हाँ. So बात ये थी कि वो लोग जो follow कर रहे थे, then when social media came, Orkut आया था. People who were not even in the team used to say that they are in the team and they used to write their name like that. So people used to send me friend requests by the name of Evo and I don't know him.
Really?
And it still happens, by the way. So anyways, वो तो था ही, but हमने कभी किसी को ये नहीं बोला that we need to write Evo in front of our names. It कुछ आर्टिस्ट के पास उस नाम में लिखा है, कुछ के में नहीं भी लिखा है, if I be very honest with you. ठीक है, but majorly it comes from within only. From them कि वो खुद लिखते हैं.
प्यार है यार.
अब वही, so मतलब it's not a branding mechanism, it's basically coming out of sheer love basically on the team.
But for a person who understands a little bit of, how branding works and things like that.
I get it.
Yeah, bhai, it's a very strong branding mechanism, because when I heard about you guys in that event, and then YouTube was already prevalent by then. Yeah. A friend of mine, he's a guitarist. So he said that we sat down for a coffee in Missouri. He said, I'll show you some of the guys. So first he showed me your, profile. And this was on Facebook, I think so. Okay. and then they showed me some videos. So that one thing that I noticed was these people everybody had the name Evo written. So for me, today I got to know for the first time that it organically happened.
Yeah.
For me, मुझे पता है क्या लगा था अभी तक was that it was your brainchild.
Correct.
कि हम लोग अपने सारे टीम मेंबर्स के नाम के आगे Evo लिखवाएंगे. Well, that's very strong influence.
We still get follow requests and follows people written Evo in front of their name. बीच में ये बहुत problem भी हुई थी, you know. So people used to claim that they're part of the team, but they were not. So at one point of time, it was very kiddish basically. What we did, we announced who are part of the team on social media. Basically, these are the list of people. यही है भाई team में. मत करना.
Really?
We had to, because everybody was talking about that. Because everybody wants to look cool, no? और हम लोग नहीं थे खाली. They were also D-maniacs.
Yeah.
Raghav, Saurabh, and these people. We were not the only people who were doing it. लोग आज भी D-maniacs लिखते अपने नाम के आगे.
Yeah.
Though they are not operating from a long time.
Yeah.
At that point of time, it was cool. Basically.
D-maniacs were who all? It was Raghav was there? Saurabh was there?
Yes. Raghav for a brief time, but Saurabh was... I think Saurabh was the backbone of this entire thing.
Yeah, because there is one...
अपन बहुत सारे लोग हैं, मतलब like it was like a huge team, and so we used to... मेरे को ऐसा लगता था कि दो हमारे बीच में कोई competition कभी भी नहीं था, because they were doing dance and we were doing stunt riding. But it was like I got, and they were also like following Western, वो पूरा मतलब hip hop, and you know उस time पे भी मतलब they were doing b-boying and stuff. So it got me, they inspired me basically always, क्योंकि कोई आपके साथ कोई और भी कर रहा हो ना, तो वो एक इंस्पिरेशन होती है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इफ यू हैव राइटर्स क्लब नहीं होता,
exactly
ये जो कोई और भी तो कर रहा है, हम ही नहीं है मैं.
Yeah, but you know, I'll tell you what I feel and what I realized when I met you, and I've been meeting you now all these years. एक होता है that you know you become famous, and the second is that उसको sustain करना, because पैसा and fame, two things that can completely spoil a very beautiful growth.
They're contrasting also.
They're contrasting, and it can spoil a person's healthy mind and growth.
Yes.
It goes into the brain, and there you start your downfall, you know. In your case, I noticed that you've been able to manage and sustain and grow. How? Fortune, touch wood, how did you ensure that you stay grounded? What is that ground zero for you?
So that's what, I've started journaling अभी कुछ time पहले से. But I was doing it in my mind. पहले मैं लिखता नहीं था उसको. पर्सनली अपना मैं बता रहा हूँ, देखो बाकी का तो आई थिंक कि इट्स अ वेरी कोर वैल्यू. पता है हमारे बीच में मुझे लगता है कि वाई वी कनेक्ट, मेरे को मेरा पर्सनल बिलीव ये है कि वाई यू एंड आई आर कनेक्टिंग, पता है आपको, बिकॉज आर पेरेंट्स आर इन. अब वो अगर होते ना भी, वो बैठे होते वो भी ऐसी बात कर रहे होते, बिकॉज वो सिमिलर बैकग्राउंड है, सिमिलर बेसिकली माइंडसेट है, सिमिलर लर्निंग्स है, सिमिलर एथिक्स है, सिमिलर वैल्यूज है, तब भी हम कनेक्ट कर पा रहे हैं. हम नहीं कर पाते. वो एनवाइब्ड होती है आपके अंदर. वो बोलते हैं आपके पेरेंट्स की वॉइस ना आपके पीछे रहती है, वो अंदर की आवाज जो होती है आपकी, वो आपके पेरेंट्स की वॉइस होती है
हमेशा.
सो मुझे लगता है कि हमारे सबके, और मैं जब भी किसी के पेरेंट्स से मिलता हूँ हमारी टीम में, मुझे लगता है अरे ये तो मम्मी जैसे, अरे ये तो पापा जैसे, मतलब यू नो. तो लाइक मुझे लगता है कि वो बहुत इक्वल था, एंड वो वैल्यूज हमारे अंदर बहुत एनवाइब्ड है अपने घर से, क्योंकि वी आर स्मॉल टाउन पीपल. दो वी आर डूइंग लाइक national level things, globally we, but we are small town people, and we know that we are small town people.
That's what keeps you guys grounded.
And personally for me, like in journaling and like recalling those things, basically where you have come from and what have you gone through, gets you back
to the present. Reality basically.
हाँ, reality तो बार बार सोचना आपको पड़ता ही है, because otherwise you're going to wander. And creative minds like us, who are, you know, like उठते ही कुछ आइडिया आता है आपको, and you're like नहीं मैं ब्रश भी नहीं करूँगा.
Like 3 in the morning.
हाँ तभी मतलब like you're like अब पूरा स्टूडियो ऑन हो चुका है, and you're like अब 3 बजे से सुबह हो गई, वो हो गया, ब्रश नहीं करा, दोपहर हो गई, खाने का टाइम हो गया, तो समझ भी नहीं आ रहा कब टाइम कैसे बीत रहा है. And we're like that. तो मुझे लगता है कि हमारे माइंड में वो जगह ही नहीं होती, पहली बात तो. और खासकर क्रिएटिव माइंड, स्ट्रेन ना कभी भी उनको पावर नहीं करेगी, मुझे पर्सनली फील होता है, और पैसा भी नहीं करेगा उनको ओवर पावर, जो क्रिएटिव है पूरे टाइम, जो प्रोडक्टिव है, जिनको ऑब्जेक्टिव होता है सुबह उठ के कुछ करना.
I agree. I completely agree.
बाय प्रोडक्ट ही होता है ना, क्योंकि
exactly
like it's not product,
True.
byproduct.
Fame and money should always follow you. I personally believe that.
Yeah.
Instead of you chasing it,
Correct.
तो तुमने chase करा, chase ही करते रह जाओ.
वही.
So okay, this was the beginning of Team EVO. This was the beginning of your core team and one of the most popular creative groups in Uttarakhand. I should actually say the most popular creative group in Uttarakhand. Yeah.
So much.
No,
So मुझे लगता है मैं से है नहीं लेकिन फिर भी.
no, I'm telling you. See, you and I we're of different ages, right? I was a teenage in the 90s. You were you in the 2000s. So हमारे बीच में approximately 10 साल का 8-10 साल का gap है. एक जन का फर्क है.
Mindset भी नहीं है.
Yeah.
You don't look like that old and you don't sound that old, to be honest. You're very young.
But what got my attention, again, I'm going to come back to that, is that, you were able to sustain it. And not just sustain it, you were able to create an influence. So now I want to talk about the youth.
Yeah.
And how you influence the youth. So one, I spoke about and asked you about everybody writing that EVO bit, and then you told me how that chaos took place. How did you keep your core group together? People keep coming and going, and I also noticed new faces.
Yeah.
But there are some faces which are permanently there. Last dinner we had together, I saw the old group sitting together, and it feels nice. I really liked it, How do you keep your core group together? Teams को जोड़ के रखना लक्ष्य बहुत मुश्किल काम होता है.
हाँ, and मेरे को लगता है पर्सनली मैं नहीं करता. मतलब मेरा भी रोल है उसमें, बट अग्रिम, शार्दुल, वरुण, डकैत, अनिकेत, Fisted, Abhishek, and these people basically, and a lot more. They do it. All of them do it basically. तभी वो पता है वो एक जगह से नहीं हो सकता. I don't think people can be together forever. जैसे relationship होती है ना. Both of them have to flex.
But it is very evident that you are and I'm using the word father figure, not literally, but it is very evident when I walk into a room. So let's talk about our last dinner together. I walked into the room, the entire team was sitting there. तुम लोग सबके साथ हाय हेलो करी मैंने. It is very evident that you are that center. You are the backbone. Everybody comes and eventually sticks to that backbone.
You can say that, but I have a different point of view for this, because you are looking it from outside, and I'm not saying that your point of view is right. But I think of myself as a coach of a team.
Man, मेरा next उसी पे था.
हाँ, so it's more like coaching people and being with them. You know how coach operates. Basically, they're like a friend in the team.
Yeah,
who is like helping them personally, professionally, and that. तो मुझे लगता है कि that's what I am doing, and with me, Agrim, and a few more people basically do that all the time.
Because you got different age groups.
Yes. Yes.
Aniket he's
very young.
He's very young, right? So you have to, apart from taking care of all your creative work, you have to mentor these boys as well. So what age did Aniket join you? What age did Daikait join
Some
you?
Teenagers they
Really? They joined you that early, huh?
Some teenagers ही थे, and I think like Daikait, I think must be 20. नहीं, वो भी 19 था.
And how many years have they been with you now?
They 2016 से कितना होगा? It's been
8 years.
8 years, yeah.
So 8 years. So Aniket and 8-9 years they've been with you guys. कभी तुम लोग के बीच में misunderstandings होती हैं?
रोज होती हैं. A team cannot function without debating, and like without वो टस तो रहता ही है.
Because such a huge group of creative guys, आपस में कभी arguments वगैरह होती हैं? होती हैं.
People इनकी मतलब सब ऐसा बढ़िया चल रहा है. They're laughing and.
So share an incident where there has been like a fallout, a very obvious fallout that Khundak में people have walked out, like something
हमारे साथ. So that's what we have kept ourselves to, that we are going to stay in a room until it's solved.
That's matured.
Yeah,
that's very.
That's
matured.
what we do all the time. We are not like कि यार इसने बोल दिया और हम चले गए. हाँ, WhatsApp group लोगों ने छोड़े. And not Aniket and Daikait, they are very mature.
Yeah.
For their age, to be honest. But they're also writers.
Yeah.
What they बोले age, like in maturity basically, not in वैसे मतलब, लेकिन in thought process.
Thinkers
में हाँ. They are like triple their age is what I think. all the writers
Hmm.
are triple their age.
I don't know how it happens.
ये होता है लेकिन मतलब when
Yeah.
you talk to them, no, you feel that this guy has spent immense time talking to himself and understanding himself.
Very,
So-
very correctly put across.
So, but they have been there like hundreds of times in that internal space. So, and I think most of the creatives do that, but writers तो पक्का ही करते हैं ये. मुझे लगता है उन्हें करना पड़ता होगा.
Because writing cannot happen with people. You have to be isolated.
Isolated, yes.
It grows, writing grows when you're isolated. And I started enjoying isolation very early, and I'm sure even these guys, they do.
They are like isolated. The cat is like, the cat keeps moving. So he himself in one of the podcasts said, he's an observer.
Mm.
He doesn't react. And you have also seen, when the cat is in the room, you will, थोड़ी देर आपको लगेगा वो है भी नहीं.
Very quiet.
Very quiet. So he's an observer. And I think that's the best thing about him. Because he's always listening to people, he's understanding their point of views, and you know, like वो चलता रहता है उसके दिमाग में पूरे टाइम.
He's a very contrasting personality when you look at him on stage and in a room.
हाँ.
In a room, he makes himself invisible.
And I think वो alter ego होता है ये सबके अंदर. आपको भी हो.
हाँ, वो सबके होता है. You've seen me story there.
Yes, वही.
So okay, coming back to you again. So when you
कहते हैं कि टस होता है तो फिर
हाँ,
क्या?
तो how do you sort it? How do you sort it out?
A lot of times basically, a lot of times we don't. ये भी बोलूँगा मैं. We don't solve it. प्रॉब्लम है तो जरूर थोड़ी सॉल्व भी करनी है. प्रॉब्लम है. बट अगर कोई रिएक्टिव प्रॉब्लम है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक दो तरह की प्रॉब्लम होती है. एक तो मेरे को तेरे से प्रॉब्लम है. एक तो ये प्रॉब्लम होती है कि भाई तू क्यों है टाइप्स, है ना. एक प्रॉब्लम होती है कि देयर इज कुछ काम की प्रॉब्लम है. बेसिकली ये फीडबैक है या ये कुछ है, ये हमारे बीच में, या ये वीडियो आइडिया या वो है, वो वाले प्रॉब्लम तुम्हें सॉल्व करनी पड़ती है. बिकॉज दैट आर यू हैव टू रिएक्ट ऑन देम, वरना आगे नहीं बढ़ेंगे, है ना. बट सम प्रॉब्लम्स लाइक दिस की ना, अरे कल तूने ये बोल दिया था वहाँ पे और तूने ये कर दिया था, या तूने मुझे ये बोला, या तू ऐसे कैसे बोल रहा है. ये जो प्रॉब्लम्स होती है ना, वी डोंट सॉल्व अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम्स. लाइक हाँ वो ऐसी है.
That's a guy.
You have to accept them. No, it's like a relationship only. You have to accept the other half, and with their flaws and with their what do you say? With their best things and with their flaws, basically.
Pros and cons.
Pros and cons. आपको accept करना पड़ेगा. And I think the best thing about our team is that we inside out know, very deeply know. कि मतलब हर्ट भी कर सकते हैं. वो होता नहीं रिलेशनशिप में, you can hurt the most.
Yeah.
क्योंकि आपको सब पता है ये ट्रिगर कैसे होगा, और you know like सबको पता है एक दूसरे के बारे में, but we don't touch that. Respect. हाँ, we respect each other.
That's
I
very
think
nice.
we respect and we accept कि यार ये है ऐसा, मतलब like what can you do about it basically.
Exactly.
I'm not here to change them,
Yeah.
and they are not here to change me. So change लाना हमारी पर्सनालिटीज में कभी भी वो नहीं है. पर्सनालिटी तो वैसी रहेगी ना.
So when these guys, they come at such a young age, so let's say Aniket, for example, okay, they come to you at such a young age, they come with hope, they come with their creative talent. How do you tap into their creativity? What do you do when these boys, they come in? So when was the last time a young guy walked into your group?
Okay, Aniket Two Fisted was very young.
कितने साल का था वो?
I think 14, 15. His elder brother, Abhishek, who does graffiti, he was part of the team only. But he started rapping when he was like 14. So he was the youngest to have joined our team, basically.
How old is he now?
So basically, right now, I think, I'm not sure, but 22, 24.
He's the latest?
He's 2001, 24.
24. So he's the latest entry into the group who stayed.
He's the youngest
guy.
या लेटेस्ट तो मैं बोलूँगा Daikait and Hanumankind.
Daikait and Hanumankind.
He was before it.
How do you tap into their energy? What do you do in order? So I know that you don't especially have a blueprint.
हाँ वो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है.
So how do you tap into their energy?
So I'll tell you what happened with Daikait and Hanumankind as a story. So maybe you can understand, like how things happened. So Ankit, who's a stunt rider, discovered Daikait and Hanumankind.
Oh.
They're doing something and they're writing rap music and stuff, and he was like कि भैया एक गाना बनाया है उन्होंने खलपत करके, सुनो एक बार आप. And he was like कि हाँ चलो let's try, सुनते हैं. मैंने सुना, मैंने कहा wow. I always wanted to do rap music and music videos. ऐसा नहीं है.
Okay.
So and we had a production house. We were like it's a natural fit basically. हम करेंगे कुछ, and we liked the music and we liked what they were talking about. the entire team basically lied what they were talking about because that was us. मुझे ऐसा फील हुआ जैसे कि वो वही बोल रहे हैं जो मैं हूँ. So और सबको मतलब like not even me, मतलब हमारा collective decision होता है वैसे कभी भी. ऐसा नहीं है कोई टीम में आ गया. This is a very strong जब कोई आना होता है ना टीम के अंदर, मुझे लगता है कि
consensus.
बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग वो है, मतलब लाइक उसको मतलब he has to stick with us for a year just to basically. So similarly happened with Daikait and Aniket.
So do you guys create a strong entry point, prove yourself, then you're a part of Team EVO, like that?
In a way, but not exactly saying that.
जरूरी है.
Upfront, हाँ, upfront बोलते नहीं है कि भाई ये मतलब this is your benchmark पहले सेट कर या कुछ बना या कुछ कर वैसे करके नहीं है. I think वो भी natural है. आप समझ रहे हो, it's very natural. We haven't, हमारा कोई वैसा नहीं है कि ये वो सेरेमनी चली है कोई, you know, ये लोग हमारी टीम में आए हैं ये होगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा.
So Lakshya, here I'm going to put you in a little bit of a spot, and don't mind I'm taking the liberty, and I'm going to say this on camera to the audience. लड़कियां क्यों नहीं है तुम्हारे साथ तुम्हारे ग्रुप में?
हमारे ग्रुप में
राइडर्स क्यों नहीं है? लड़कियां इतनी थी, अमेजिंग राइडर्स हैं.
One of the rider girl, Tenzin,
हाँ,
she is in Canada right.
I don't, so I'm saying
she's not part of the like यहाँ पे कोर ग्रुप में हमारे साथ नहीं है, but there was one. उसके बाद एक और थी हमारे साथ. But पता है क्या हुआ? I'll tell you. ऐसा नहीं है कि it's not open for girls. अब कभी भी ऐसा हुआ नहीं. And there were girls, and there is a girl who is not here with us in Dehradun. But there were अभी कभी भी हमारा वो नहीं हुआ. But it was the sport in itself. और जहाँ से हम आ रहे हैं, मैं कह रहा हूँ जब लड़कों के लिए टैबू है, तो आप सोचो लड़कियों के लिए कितना बड़ा टैबू होगा वो.
But I know for a fact that there are girls who are riders in Dehradun.
Yeah.
Right? I know that you guys are a very evolved, open group of creative minds.
Correct.
I know that there will be a point and a fit. So if a rider, a girl who's an enthusiast comes in and sits with you guys, will synergize with you guys. तो अभी तक ऐसा क्यों नहीं हुआ? So you're talking about somebody who's in Canada. So that's a far-flung thing. Tenzin is there.
She was here.
She was here. She's gone.
She's gone. Yeah.
But there are so many riders in the city. So why don't you invite them?
He popped up. Like in the last 5 years.
So when you guys do your meets, like I spoke about the one that I missed last time.
Yes.
So the team evolution is there, and then you guys call a few people from outside as well.
Right.
I consider myself an external part of
Yeah,
group, right? But why don't you invite the girls who ride in Uttarakhand, Rishikesh, Haridwar? Why don't you like make an announcement that hey, on such and such day, Team EVO is meeting there.
Actually,
come and join us.
It's a very good question, I think, and I think we have to also make it clear that I don't want to invest in stunt riding.
Okay.
Because there is no future in that anymore. It's a very hard thing to say, but it is what it is. Motorsport, if you talk very, अगर हम motorsport को लेके चलते हैं, जैसे off-roading हो गया, ये हो गया, where Shardul is basically leading this space, you know, for us, and he's opened his own firm, Pahadi Racing करके, he has recently opened his own organization, and he has a few girls that he's
female drivers.
So he's training. But again, when you say Team EVO now, it's basically, I think last stunt rider we got in our group was like what? In 2014 or something like that.
Yeah.
Like 10 years back. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah. तो उसके बाद भी, so I'll tell you my objective with art forms. What my personal objectives. I want to complete a circle. And when I say a circle, basically a journey of someone.
Tell me
it can be anybody. So
tell me the start point and take me through the circle.
So as soon as somebody says, "Ki, I want to do this," and this is where I am. For example, let's take Daikait. Daikait wants to make music, and that's the start point. अब मैं committed हूँ कि मैं जिंदगी भर music करूँगा. सबसे पहला point. Then पूरा उसको basically पूरा सीखना, सब कुछ उसकी टेक्निकल इंटीग्रिटीज ये सब, और उसके बाद परफॉर्मेंस और ये वो सब कुछ A to Z पैसा कमा के फिर उस पूरे सर्कल को कंप्लीट करना, कि जब वो खुद कर पाएगा.
No, you have to be more specific about the circle. So you said So tell me what all does it comprise?
पता चलो मैं बताता हूँ. देखो सबसे पहली चीज होती है कि आपने कमिटेड हो कि आप ये करना चाहते हो.
One,
ठीक है. You have find your way.
yeah,
Second, do you know how to do it? You have to learn
the art form, everything.
Everything about it. And it's journey. It's happening. Then you need to understand that it's a performance art, basically. Performing art. You need to be a performer also. All the art forms that we do are all performing arts.
Performing arts, yeah.
So you need to understand how it is performed. After that, you need to start making money out of it.
Very important.
Very important. And as soon as you start making money out of it, you have to go further and start doing it on your own. Though people will support you, but you have to find your own way again. I'm not saying that you will be like, अब छोड़ देंगे हम लोग या वो कर देंगे. But then people start giving us leads. These artists start giving us leads that we react on.
Where do you come? So this was, so
I come everywhere. I help them with everything.
Brilliant. So this has very beautifully connected me to the next part that I wanted to talk to you. I want to know your role as a mentor. So you've given me this 360-degree journey of all the artists that you've had. Your role as a mentor is very evident. I've seen it. Okay. From where do you start with these boys? So कोई सपना लेकर आया तुम्हारे पास. So let's say the person has a skill, is able to rap, okay, is not able to write, can rap but cannot write, okay.
You should figure that out. Like I'll help. How? So basically, what I do. This is Raghav is my friend. Raghav.
JL.
So when we were making our first album, I didn't know how to make an album, and I didn't know anything about music or music industry. I called him because he was in Bombay, and he was like talking to people around. उसको सब पता था मतलब क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा है industry में, you know. I called him one day and I said, "क्या bro मैं आ रहा हूँ. क्या तू लेके? I'm going to spend like 10 days with you." And just I want to meet these people.
When was this? Which year?
2017.
Okay.
So we went. We met like, I don't know, more than 100 people. He made us meet. Some दूसरे नहीं मिला है, but he made us meet a lot of good people. Darshan Rawal, Rastar, and I think couple more from the music industry basically, who understand the dynamics of music album and stuff, you know. And he himself basically told us about whatever he had knowledge. We met Divine and with these people basically. And Divine was also like, he had put out an album. I mean, उसने कर दिया था सब कुछ, but he was, I think, उसका भी journey चल रहा था Divine का उस time में. But we got a lot of insights. I can say, मतलब like हमने क्रैक कर दिया मुझे लगा. जैसे नहीं बोलते हैं. इतने सारे लोगों को मिलके हमने नोट्स बनाए. मैं ही करता था नोट्स, क्योंकि बाकी लोग भी लिखेगा ये मुझे पता है. वो सिर्फ रैप लिखेंगे. So मैं आया, मैंने like प्लान बनाया हम लोगों ने. And we have this thing, vision meeting बोलते हैं जैसे हम.
Brainstorming.
हाँ, vision meeting बोलते हैं उसे. Literally it's a vision meeting.
Okay.
So and it happens in like 2-3 years कभी कभी होती है. We like यार हमने. So हम लोग बैठते हैं रूम में. We create a mind map, and I'm very good at creating mind maps.
Yeah.
And we create a mind map. हम उसमें लिख देते हैं जो भी हमारे दिल में होता है कि हम क्या करेंगे. ठीक है. And then we start.
Okay, I'm going to bring you back a little bit again. So 2017, you guys went to Bombay. Heavy networking happened. You met about 100 people. So when you said that we cracked it there, what was that feeling like? What did you think that you had cracked in during that network? How long were you there in Bombay?
I think 2 weeks. 10 दिन के लिए गए थे हम. 4 दिन रह गए.
Okay, and what is it that you felt that you guys had cracked? A better network, a way to move forward?
I wanted to understand dynamics of the music industry and music.
Okay.
So by dynamics I mean the ins and out of it. How does it work? How do you create music, put it out there and make money out of it? One. Second, how to channelize, how to put music out there. It's a different thing altogether, basically. You know, like a lot of people have different strategies how they release music. Though we basically are very, you know, like emotional people. So हम लोग बहुत emotionally करते हैं release plans हमारे. But that's what I like also about us. Basically, we don't put too much brain into it. You कबाड़ बन जाए. मतलब, you know, like
not over plan.
Like enjoy the process, no.
True.
So, but yeah, these two things I think. how to make money out of music
Hmm.
and how to put the music out there, and very technical details also. Mix कैसे होता है, how the product sound good, these kind of things. And we had like very, you won't believe, like वो होते हैं ना, बिल्कुल mind boggling changing इतनी सी चीज़ है, वो तो सब change कर दिया, मतलब जैसे mixing में. For example, we used to mix our bass very differently and we didn't know. And internet पे भी इतनी knowledge मतलब होती है, but you people have like 10 ways of doing stuff. Which is the right way, which is how
Yeah.
people are doing. जब आप किसी से मिलते हो one on one ना, and somebody listened to our mix and he was like, ये क्या है? Then this guy basically took upon himself to get us in a studio and tell us detail by detail कि ये क्यों नहीं करते तुम, ये क्यों नहीं करते तुम, ये क्यों नहीं करते तुम. क्योंकि क्या होता है with bass, no, bass is the hardest thing to mix.
Yeah.
Basically. And सब लोग ना bass में गलती करते हैं mix करने में.
Okay.
And I don't know the technical detail because Daikait was taking on him basically because he mixes a lot. He's like a technical guy as well, by the way. And he took it upon himself to learn that skill. When I met him, he didn't know it. He took it upon himself कि भाई ये अगर हम mixing नहीं सीखे तो हम गाना नहीं डाल पाएंगे आगे. तो हमें सीखनी पड़ेगी खुद in house because we can't afford good mixers at that point of time.
That's very true.
So we learned to mix. And then वो छोटे छोटे जो चीजें पता लगी, feedbacks, like I was like, ये करना था. Aniket was like, अच्छा ये तो बड़ा.
I hope now. So you, Daikait and Aniket, three of you went to Mumbai, or it was just you and Daikait?
Aniket is like Aniket is a very good social guy, and like he used to, वो ना थोड़ा anxiety में रहता है और वो बहुत बोलता है. So I'm like, और उसको बहुत young भी था, but ऐसा नहीं था कि मैं उसको ले जाना चाहता, but I didn't had that resources at that point of time. क्योंकि 14 दिन बॉम्बे में रहना भी, with even if I'm staying at Rahul's place,
It's expensive, man.
it's expensive. Basically, we've spent like what? 75,000 rupees in 2017 just to roam around and meet people, you know.
Yeah.
But that part of interview, आपको लगता था यार इन्वेस्टमेंट म्यूजिक वीडियो में कर देते हैं यार, नहीं चलते हैं, समझना तो पड़ेगा, करते हैं टाइप्स, यू नो. फिर देन वो फिर नेचुरली होता है, फिर देन यू स्टार्ट मीटिंग न्यू पीपल. अब जैसे म्यूजिक पुट आउट करा, देन दे गिव यू फीडबैक, फिर और लोगों से फीडबैक मिलता है, फिर और लोगों से फीडबैक मिलता है, ऐसे करके you start growing basically.
You have so many young people working with you, and this is from a mentorship perspective I'm talking to you about. Have you ever found it difficult to keep them off alcohol, drugs? Have you ever found it difficult to keep them away from these things? Because if you get into this, face goes, performance goes. Tell me a little bit about this.
So I used to do it, so I can also comment on it. So, but my objective was very different when I was doing it. So I wanted to escape. And I think majority people want to enjoy why they do it. Because I come from like very difficult times, and I lost my father very early, and my mom was going through cancer. I got into it. And I'm very vocal about it, by the way. मैं बताता हूँ लोगों को कि मैं करता था फुल पावर, मतलब like ऐसा नहीं है सब कुछ. But it's been like 5 years I'm sober. अब कभी अभी क्यों बैठा तो वाइमेन बिली, not like crazy as parties. But I enjoy parties and I वो. But मैंने छोड़ा इसलिए था because when my mom went away, no, and I was going through the grieving process, I did a lot of things, but not hard drugs, but I did a lot of things in that sense. Then suddenly, basically, one day I was not rolling in my balcony. So इससे पहले क्या था मेरे को रोल करना नहीं आता था, तो मेरे को किसी ना कोई चाहिए था. But lockdown taught me rolling myself. So I started. I was in my balcony. I was rolling it, and suddenly, like one thing hit me. Why am I doing it now? I reflected upon what I'm trying to escape now, and I keep doing that with me. When I go there, journaling, reflecting onto. So I reflected, and suddenly I think मेरे को ये सब करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. So I left, switch off.
Suddenly
Snap. उसके बाद से मैंने आज तक सिगरेट नहीं पकड़ी, आज तक जॉइंट नहीं पकड़ा. वही मैंने आपको बताया, ड्रिंक्स वही जैसे हम कभी डिनर कर, डिनर के साथ साथ एक
वाइन पी लिया
बस टाइप्स. बट आई लेफ्ट एंड टिल नाउ मैंने नहीं करा. एंड आई थिंक उससे पहले ना I was not able to question क्योंकि I was doing it myself. तो मैं कैसे क्वेश्चन करता किसी और
Okay.
कि why are you doing it? No, you need to stop it. और ये तो मैं अभी भी नहीं करता खैर कि that you need to stop it. As I told you, I accept them with their flaws. So
do you find that struggle with them sometimes if
yes,
you do?
Yeah.
How do you handle it?
I think I'm whenever these kind of things happen, I act very professionally. एकदम से ना मैं switch हो जाता हूँ.
Okay.
From a big brother to very professional. I'm like, we had to do this thing at this time, and this was expected, to be done, and we had to do it. What you're doing, मतलब like वैसे. Then it's basically objective one हो जाता है मैं.
Okay.
Rather than saying कि तू ये पी क्यों रहा है, तो वजह से तू क्यों पीता रहता है, तू क्या करता रहता है, ये मैं कभी नहीं बोलता. And I never question them. ये तुम क्या कर रहे हो, क्या नहीं कर रहे हो, मुझे कुछ फर्क नहीं पड़ता तुम क्या करते हो, क्या नहीं करते हो. Until unless you are in your right mindset. फिर अगर कुछ ऐसा होता भी है that people get into that, and a lot of people have in our group got into alcohol like very crazy, and bad things happened, with them because of that. So, but I never counsel. I have made this a point because nobody wants to hear the GAN because I didn't at that point of time. But I objectively tell them always, like, this is what is expected, this is what is need to be done, and this is why we are together and doing this. So I just basically give them a reality of what we are trying to do here. Rather than saying, कि इसे छोड़ मत करिए वो. I don't bulge into their personal lives in that sense. मतलब कि यार, मतलब it's personal. It's very personal basically. Why you drinking, smoking, whatever you're doing is very personal.
Yeah.
And आप कभी बोलोगे बेटा people who are smoking up and stuff, when you try to give them ज्ञान, जैसे मुझे भी देते थे लोग, I was like, भाई तू रहने दे.
Why?
Why are you giving me ज्ञान?
The reason I asked you this question was because one, I wanted to know how you handled it. Second, Dehradun has a lot of youth with the colleges and schools.
Yeah, and bad things are happening.
A lot of bad things are happening, accidents and things like that. So I saw recently there was a post that you put up where you were in one of these colleges. I'm not going to name it, but you were in one of these colleges. When these guys meet you, young guys, they meet you, what do you think is their expectation from you? क्या देखते हैं वो और क्या?
I think वो मतलब मैं ऐसे बता तो नहीं सकता क्या point of view होता होगा, but what I feel when I meet young people is they would want to know कि ऐसा हो सकता है इन चीजें.
Possible है.
हाँ. I think that is something because देहरादून की ना एक mindset है कि देहरादून में कुछ नहीं हो सकता. उत्तराखंड में mindset है कि उत्तराखंड में कुछ नहीं हो सकता.
बाहर जाना
पड़ेगा करने के लिए. So I think when they see us, not me particularly, when they see us, they see a possibility. And I think that sparks. When I started making films, and that is something I will talk about, when I started making films, there was nobody doing it. Yeah. Vinit sir didn't have that expertise. That's why he got me, Nobody was doing it. Like with that mindset, I'm saying, वो पुराना old school method तो चल रहा था यहाँ पे. But with that mindset कि यार कोई नया तरीका होगा. But people, and I'm not saying that I have inspired every filmmaker in Dehradun to be a filmmaker. I'm not saying that. But I have given them a possibility. Now there are a lot of production houses. This is what I can say. So Agrim and I have worked our asses off in Dehradun to make it a possibility. There are a lot of hardships. There are a lot of work that we have lost because we are in Dehradun.
Really?
Yes. So, but we have made a point. We have always made a point that we will not go out of this town. Even if we don't make that money.
Are you restricting yourself?
Yes.
Is it costing you your brand or is it costing you your financials in a certain way? What is the biggest advantage then?
Sanity.
That's a good point. That's why I came to Dehradun as well. I was in Delhi.
I'm sane.
I also, that's a damn good point. What is it that when you look at the youth and culture over here, tell me one advantage, tell me one disadvantage that you see, because you've been through the same journey. when we walk out, when we go out and see our city, when I was in my teenage, there were only schools. When you reached your teenage, it was flooded with colleges.
Correct.
When you go out, what is the biggest advantage and disadvantage that you see in the youth culture over here?
Youth, basically the talented youth moves out, which has to be here to inspire more people.
That's a disadvantage.
That's a very...
What is the advantage?
Advantage is that now a lot of people are investing in Dehradun in Uttarakhand. So basically there are going to be opportunities. We are creating opportunities. We are a 35 people team. Not all of them are part of Team Evolution. And we have created jobs. We have created work. And similarly, there are more production houses, more people here who have created work, and they have chosen to be here and function from here. So I think that is basically, and I will not say advantage, but it is going towards that. But I also feel there needs to be good people teaching good skills.
Like what?
Like everything. It's a digital age. Like filmmaking, first of all.
Nobody's teaching filmmaking in Dehradun.
There are, but most of them are teaching them in the orthodox manner.
Old school.
Old school.
What is the new school method of teaching filmmaking here?
Actually, exposing people to small, short format content.
Very important. Very important.
Because हो क्या रहा है ना, when you go to any film school, I went to colleges and I met young people, and I'm not saying they're not teaching them well, but whenever I talk to those people, na, they're far behind from what is happening right now
in the real world.
Yes. And I think it's the problem with the entire education system is what I believe. मेरे को कभी काम नहीं है पाइथागोरस थ्योरम समझ लो रियल वर्ल्ड में.
True. I know.
आई होगी लोगों को, मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूँ, तो 90s बने उनको आई होगी ऑफ कोर्स, कोई एस्ट्रोनॉट बन रहा है, कोई वो बन रहा है, उसको आया होगा ये सब, मुझे नहीं आया. बट आई हैड टू डू इट जबरदस्ती. सो आई टेल यू वन मोर इंटरेस्टिंग थिंग, बट आई शुडंट से दिस. एक वो बन जाएगा ओपिनियन ध्रुव के लिए. ध्रुव, माय यंगर ब्रदर, मैं जब पास आउट हुआ था, ही वाज इन लाइक 7th 8th, आई रिमेंबर. मैंने 2 बार 12th करी है, बिकॉज माय मॉम वांटेड मी टू बी लाइक ट्राई फॉर डॉक्टर. वो तेरे से डॉक्टर्स ट्राई तो कर, नहीं होगा. तो मैंने पहले, मेरे को मिली नहीं ICSE में, मैंने उसमें करा कॉमर्स में, देन आई डिड इट इन साइंस अगेन 12th.
Okay.
बट वो छोड़ो. तो मैंने कर लिया ना 12th, तो उसके बाद मैंने रियलाइज करे ये तो और क्या है, मतलब ध्रुव इज गोइंग टू वेस्ट अ लॉट ऑफ टाइम है जो मैं करके आ रहा हूँ. ऐसा नहीं होता है वो
Yeah.
सो मेरे साथ ऐसा हुआ. सो आई pulled him out of the school in 8th class.
Okay.
I pulled him out
Okay.
from the school.
Your decision?
Yes.
Okay.
I was वो बहुत छोटा भी था तब. He was like a teenager. I was like, तुम नहीं जाएगा स्कूल. उसके 2 reasons थे. एक तो ये भी था कि we didn't have enough money to also like get him into a good school. है ना, मतलब आप उस टाइम पे भी आपको पता ही है यार, मतलब आज भी स्कूल ऐसे है कि मतलब इट्स लाइक कि मतलब आप सोचते हो ना कि मेरा बच्चा और स्कूल जाए, तो इससे वो हो जाता है, हार्ट अटैक आ जाता है, सोच के. तो सो आई पुल्ड इट आउट. इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि उसने पढ़ाई नहीं करी. आई पुल्ड हिम आउट. देन वी डेवलप्ड आवर होम करिकुलम. होम स्कूलिंग शुरू करी हमने. एंड आई एक्सपोज्ड हिम टू दिस फिल्म मेकिंग वर्ल्ड वेरी अर्ली. नाउ ही हेड्स operations.
Okay.
And he caters to brands that nobody could have imagined इधर उनसे कोई कर रहे होंगे.
He does it alone?
Yes, a lot of times.
How many people in the team?
35, 36.
Wow. So tell me something. How often do you have people from Dehradun, local brands from Dehradun, approaching you guys for big work? Not small work. I'm talking about big work.
It is very less.
Why?
Where couple of times we worked for IMA when we were with Vinit, and I can't recall anybody.
You can't.
Pacific we are working, but again it's a Delhi client.
Yeah. So that is so. My question is that Dehradun has money. There are big clients. Why do they go and fish people from outside? Why don't they use the resources and the talent and the skills over here?
That is my biggest question to the government here. and I've been very very like they are not like मेरा phone भी नहीं उठाते वो इस चक्कर में, because I'm like यार आप बॉम्बे से आपने एजेंसी बुला रखी है टूरिज्म का काम करने के लिए, and people from Dehradun who are doing good work and catering to brands, वो Fortune 500 कंपनीज में जो है उनको हम केटर कर रहे हैं यहाँ से बैठ के, एंड यू डोंट बिलीव इन अस या तो ठीक है, एंड देन दे टेल कि यार देयर इज अ प्रोसेस, यू हैव टू फिल द टेंडर. वी कांट गेट अवे विद टेंडर्स. मतलब लाइक आप ऐसे नहीं बोल सकते कि ये प्रोसेस है, मतलब पॉलिसी चेंजिंग थिंग है, बट ओनली गवर्नमेंट कैन डू इट, टू बी ऑनेस्ट, क्योंकि गवर्नमेंट के पास इतना काम है ना यहाँ पे, वही सबसे बड़ा क्लाइंट है
ट्रू
यहाँ के लोगों के लिए. And they have to get local people, local stuff. They're hiring people from Bangalore. They're hiring agencies from Bombay. People are coming from Bombay, exploiting the government resources, and we are here basically struggling to get work from Dehradun. I'm saying,
Yeah,
Aniket,
exactly.
struggling generally.
Yeah, that's what my question was, that you are here in Dehradun. There are skills which are available in Dehradun, and people are not utilizing the available skills of Dehradun. They're going outside and bringing people.
Correct.
That must be costing more as well.
Yes, but there is a mindset. I will tell you. So there is a mindset shift and a policy shift that needs to happen. Mindset shift is basically government and people from Dehradun should understand that घर की मुर्गी is not दाल बराबर.
Yeah. True.
They are skilled. They understand the dynamics of work.
Yeah.
You have to give them the opportunity to do it. Otherwise, you're losing a lot of talent, and the talent will go out, and then you'll hire the same guy is going to work with the agency in Bombay, come here and do that work through that channel.
Which is very strange.
It is strange. I work for agencies from that point of view. मैं करता हूँ. But अभी recently I'll say कि Raj Bhavan में we are doing something. They've hired local people. So there's a few people, but they're bottlenecked. They're basically because of policies, because of these things basically, and the mindset as well. But there are few people. I'll be very honest with you. I've met few people in the government that think how we think.
You interact with the music industry a lot. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question about this latest new rapper who's exploded on the internet by the name of Hanumankind.
Yes.
But I'm going to come to it. There is something happening between Honey Singh and Badshah. I just want to know, because you interact so much with the music industry, what do you think about both these brands, and like what do you think is this friction happening between these guys?
I'm aware of it from like very long time. मतलब ये आज का friction नहीं है. It's just surfacing right now. It's been happening from a long time. The Mafia Mundi, they had a group, but I didn't follow them too much, to be honest. I listen to their music because it's out there. It's basically in Bollywood, and it's basically pushing towards you. And I'm not saying they're not making good music. They're making good music.
Yeah.
They're doing good stuff. They are very good people. I've spoken to both Honey Singh and Badshah like a couple of times, not more than that. They might not even know me. but I think like these are these kind of grudges जो रहता है ना, and friction है जो ये बहुत टाइम का है जो इस तरीके से सरफेस आउट हो रहा है. अब ये ना, वैसे आप जब लड़ाइयाँ होती है ना तो बहुत छोटी छोटी चीज पे होती है. अरे तूने यहाँ तौलिया कर रख दिया, ये गीला तौलिया को रखा हुआ है यहाँ पे, है ना. लड़ाइयाँ कभी पॉइंट पे नहीं होती. जो पॉइंट है मेन,
एग्जैक्टली,
लड़ाइयाँ छोटी चीजों में होती है कि वो मैंने वहां रखा था, पानी क्यों नहीं भरा, मोटर क्यों नहीं खोली, ये क्यों नहीं करा. सो वो ब्राउन रंग किसने लिखा इज दैट कि वो गीला तौलिया रखा हुआ है, मतलब कि वो किसने लिखा मतलब करके. बट देयर आर बिगर थिंग्स दैट
in the background.
And I hope that this gets sorted out, but I don't know, man. मतलब it is what it is basically.
It's like a huge fan following that has divided, because of their fallout.
Yes, there are core fans that might listen to both.
Exactly.
And then they are struggling basically. What happened, and they want the right answer right now. Who wrote that song?
It reminds me of the late 2000s when this big, huge controversy started off when Shah Rukh and Salman, they kind
Yeah,
of
it's
got
very
into a
similar.
fight. There were two camps.
है basically उनके बीच में.
Yeah, they split into two camps, and the Shah Rukh camp and the Salman camp. So I remember you and I had a conversation about Hanumankind.
Yes.
He's from Kerala. That's
Yes.
my paternal side of my family. Yeah. He's
Very
in
nice
fact,
place. We've been there once.
yeah, and he's in fact from the same city that my grandparents are from, Kannur. You know.
Imagine.
Yeah, I hope I am able to call him sometime. So you had mentioned that there is a tie-up that is going to happen with the Daikait and
We're
Hanuman.
talking about it, but I'm giving it to you
Yeah.
right now. But basically, there is a nationwide cipher that Universal Music is doing in India. And there are like 4 corners of India, basically, which we say north, south, east, and west. And rappers, musicians, like beat producers have come together and developed a track. 4 separate tracks, actually.
East, West, North, South.
Yes, which is going to come together as one. And uska video shoot ho gaya, sab kuch ho gaya. I think, I don't know when they're going to release it. From our end, everything has been done. But that track will come, and I think Daikait hai usme. Daikait is north.
From North. How many people from North?
2, 3. 3, 4. No, 4.
That's amazing. There's so many rappers and just 4 from the North, huh?
Yes.
Wow. That's quite a thing, yeah.
Yeah, and like it's always,
When can I expect?
music is always about representing,
Yeah. Expression. When is this happening? Next year?
I'm not still sure because we contracts and everything has been locked. We have given them everything. We have also got paid. So I don't know. I'll ask.
What is the difference that you see in rappers from North India and from South India? Like so there are names like Broader V, you've got Hanumankind, you've got a couple of more.
Yeah.
What is the difference that you see from when you hear the rappers from the North?
Yeah.
Pahadi rappers, Punjabi rappers, and the ones from South?
I think to summarize, मतलब ऐसा कुछ ज़्यादा फर्क तो लगता है. They are representing basically, but वो एक vocal है, मतलब उनका dialect ही अलग है, तो like that is the biggest difference. How they tell things, especially what they are talking about is different. I'll not say, but I'll not categorize and generalize rappers from North because there are tastes. Like,
Genres.
like the cat is very hardcore, and like he goes into what the nitty-gritties of like very small nuances, and उसमें चले जाता है like पहाड़ के और उसमें. On the other hand, there are rappers जो सिर्फ flex कर रहे हैं. Like कि मेरी गाड़ी, मेरा बंगला, मेरा ये, मेरा वो. I'm not saying that is also wrong. Flex करना भी सही है, of course. But हाँ, there are tastes. So similarly, but when I see South, no, I'll speak about audience. Audience is very good in South.
Why do you say that?
They understand the dynamics of this music.
Okay.
अब यहाँ पे क्या होता है ना, देख, मैं ये नहीं बोलूँगा कि यहाँ की ऑडियंस गलत है, बट यहाँ की ऑडियंस, अगर आप यहाँ पे गाड़ी बंगला चल रहा है तो उनके दिमाग में गाड़ी बंगला ही है ना. And Broadway and Hanumankind are very different from that. Basically, what they're talking about their struggles, how they talk about it. वो भी flex करते हैं, no doubt, but they're also telling stories, and they are at the top of their game.
Yeah.
But मुझे लगता है यहाँ पे cult ज़्यादा है North में.
Hardcore.
हाँ, यहाँ cult following है basically. यहाँ people in North are actually like they're going to die for you. The fans are going to die for you basically.
Then why did you say that you like the audience from South?
Because music, so in terms of growth, एक आर्टिस्ट की ग्रोथ के लिए ना उसकी वाहवाही करना जरूरी नहीं है पूरे टाइम.
True.
एक आर्टिस्ट की ग्रोथ के लिए उसको सपोर्टर्स भी मिलने चाहिए, फीडबैक्स भी मिलने चाहिए, समझ में भी आना चाहिए, डायनामिक्स समझ में आने चाहिए बेसिकली ना. वही तो माई पॉइंट इज बेसिकली दी ऑडियंस इन साउथ अंडरस्टैंड दोज डायनामिक्स बेसिकली. म्यूजिक कैसे बनता है, क्यों बनता है, क्या बोल रहा है, what is trending, what is not. Also, they are very proud of their dialect. So, वहाँ पे काफ़ी आपको regional rappers भी मिलते हैं, मतलब like with their different dialects basically. like but like यहाँ पे भी होता है, like यहाँ पे पहाड़ी है, गढ़वाली है, कुमाऊनी है, you know, like these people also like do rap and stuff. But again, मतलब that audience I like. I don't know why. Basically, they behave well. Well, I don't know. I don't want to just categorize that. मतलब ऐसे ऐसे करके pointer करके. But
You heard of Daikait Bridge?
of course,
You like them?
Motoverse में they were performing.
They did
I met them.
last year.
Yes.
Amazing band. They do
last year. मेरे को exactly नहीं पता, but ये तो Motoverse हो जाता है. It's like just a blur.
And these guys, they don't even call themselves a band. They call themselves a project.
Yes.
18 or 24 people, and they
That's crazy
guys, very crazy guys.
I love them.
Same here. Daikait Bridge is again very very unique in what they do.
Yeah. And I started from where I started from my music journey from rock only. Rock, metal, death metal.
Dehradun culture. Yeah.
I didn't go because अब metal होता नहीं उतना. So then अभी Linkin Park का that you know that the new song that come in, I was like a kid watching the entire thing live at 4 in the morning. अब उनका timing वैसा था.
Yeah.
4 in the morning and I was like very interested कि वो क्या कर रहे हैं क्या नहीं कर रहे हैं, and you know like, and the new girl Emily that joined the band and those bands are still happening.
Yeah.
And good music with bands are still happening. I love that, but at the same time वो जो metal वाला जो headbanging था ना वो hip hop में transition हो गया मुझे कहीं ना कहीं लगता है.
So
या फिर EDM.
EDM. I think what I remember of Dehradun is that when we were in our teenage, the youth used to listen to essentially two forms of music. One was metal, and the other one was rap. So for us, it was Tupac to Eminem. Yeah. Guns N' Roses all the way to Metallica and more, Pantera, etc. So we essentially Green Day and all we started listening a little later. But yeah, we used to listen to a lot of punk and stuff like that.
Punk,
Yeah, it was very big. Okay, I want to ask you something about your NGO.
Okay.
And you have taken this step, I think, recently.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your NGO and what is the objective? What is the focus of your NGO? What are you doing?
So it's called JanLok Seva.
Okay.
And by JanLok Seva, we mean that people are coming together to help people and just do seva.
Okay.
हमारा objective है. We are not here to basically make money, make that. वो NGOs के साथ है वो एक associated है stigma कि ये आए तो पैसे कमाएंगे भाई ये तो इससे. हमारा नहीं है actually, and सब यही बोलते भी होंगे शायद by the way कि हम पैसे कमाने नहीं आए हम सेवा करने हैं. But we want to do it, and there are very small gaps that I have seen here in Uttarakhand, that and people who are with me in the NGO have seen and developed, like they know that there are gaps, but nobody is basically acting upon them. So
what kind of gaps are you talking about?
So I'll list some of them down for you. One, skilled youth.
Okay.
Second, the quality of skills.
Okay.
Is basically missing. अब स्किल्स के नाम पे आपने लड़कियों को वो सीना सिखा दिया,
सिलाई
बनाना ये सब करना, बट एट द सेम टाइम अगर वो उतना ही टाइम आप किसी तरह इन्वेस्ट कर देते ना और उन्हें कंप्यूटर में कोई बेसिक चीज सिखा देते, देन दे वुड हैव स्टार्टेड एक्सप्लोरिंग देमसेल्व्स.
तो अगर उनको सबको कंप्यूटर सिखाएंगे तो सिलाई बुनाई कौन करेगा फिर?
उसके तो मशीन है ना.
नहीं, बट हैंडमेड प्रोडक्ट्स की अलग ही इंडस्ट्री है.
यू आर राइट. सो अगेन देयर आर, आई एम नॉट सेइंग, बट सबको वो करवाना, यू आर बेसिकली I'm not saying that is wrong. Don't take it that way.
No, not at all. I am just asking.
Yeah.
Devil's advocate.
Yes. And I think that's a very right question. I actually think that हम ना categorize कर देते हैं कि इस तरीके के लोगों को ये काम करना चाहिए. Who are you to think about that? We have to gauge their quality skills के सब पहले आपको उनका समझना पड़ेगा कि what kind of education they had, what kind of expertise they have. You know, मतलब वो होता है ना एक कैरेक्टर क्या बोलते हैं उसे, एनालिसिस करना, वहां से शुरू होना चाहिए ये चीज कि क्या ये इसके लिए सही है या सिर्फ करने के लिए कर दिया.
So, okay, my question here is that to you, again I'm playing the devil's advocate, how do you get to assess the youth?
Yes, so what we are trying to do right now is we are trying to do two things. एक तो हम awareness कर रहे हैं चीजों के अराउंड. We are not getting into that right now. Ultimate objective is that. but we're not getting into that right now. We are generally awareness फैला रहे हैं हम लोग अभी. जैसे for example trees के around. Uttarakhand has always been like a nature thing, and यहाँ पे पेड़ ही कटे जा रहे हैं, कोई बचा नहीं रहा, कोई कुछ नहीं कर रहा, तो ये बेसिक चीज़ है. Then basically we are talking about it's our responsibility to make the girls safe. ऐसी awareness है, and how you can as boys, what can we do to make them feel safe?
Is Dehradun a safe city for
Not
girls?
anymore.
For girls?
Not anymore.
Why do you say that?
I have a lot of friends that says that, and they one of them said, I don't want to say the name, but one of them said that she doesn't want to go walk in the evening, and I'm talking about Jharkhand area.
Is Dehradun safe for boys?
Not anymore.
Why do you say that?
A lot of incidents have come where tourists have come here and made a nuisance and basically beaten up a lot of local people and done that. And there are hundreds of news that we get like that.
The local Pahadis, are they safe in their homes? Not literally homes, but in their local area. So a person from Almora, is he safe in Almora today as much as he was 20 years ago?
In the deeper Uttarakhand, I can say maybe. I don't have a definite answer, but we recently went to Dharma Valley, and there were, in the homestay, there was no network, and some people from Delhi came there, and we were like, we wanted to document the Chacholi peaks, and we were like, just roaming around, and we're finding the right time, basically staying there like for 2-3 days, finding the right time, kab dikhegi dhang se types, and one night, and they're all ladies in this homestay, by the way. The gents basically just move out and do stuff, and they go to like bigger spaces. One group from Delhi came, and I'm not categorizing that Delhi people are they were a group from Delhi.
Unfortunately.
But they were creating a nuisance, and they knew that there are only ladies in this homestay. And how could have they reacted? But they didn't react because there is nothing to react. They can't do anything. Unfortunately, we also didn't react. And I was feeling very bad about it. I don't know why. And it's basically a couple of months back only.
Why didn't you guys react?
I don't know. वही ठीक करना है. And it should start from inside. But when nuisance, I'm not saying they're trying to वो छेड़ रहे थे या कुछ कर रहे थे. They were just loud. They were, they were drinking. They were abusing and that stuff, which you shouldn't do around women at all, and especially in the village area.
That's very true. And I also completely agree.
पंचाचूली पी के वहाँ का वास है, वहाँ यहाँ देवी देवताओं के वास में आप आके सब पी के गालियाँ दे रहे हो. मतलब it's not.
It's insulting.
It's insulting basically. But that's the question I asked. कि मैंने वहाँ क्यों यूज नहीं करा? And then basically I want to figure. और first I answered, मैंने इसलिए नहीं करा, मुझे ऐसा लगा कि मैं करूँगा तो this will become my problem. And I don't want to get into this because I'm here for something else.
Do you think it's right that recently the Uttarakhand Police has sent out a notice saying that if people are partying over the weekends, even the co-passengers should not be drunk. Driver for sure. But now even the people sitting inside the car, co-passengers should not be drunk.
I don't think it's the right thing, but generally
they have come up with something like this, right? Do you think it's too stringent?
But अगर ऐसा कर रहे हैं तो I don't think it's the right thing because for a lot of people unwinding भी कुछ होता है, and you can't categorize. वही जिसमें मैं बोल रहा हूँ, you can't categorize the entire population saying कि यार यही है.
हाँ,
ये सब गलत है. इन सबको लगाम लगाओ.
हाँ. True.
If you and I, as gentlemen, go out, have a couple of drinks, we take a taxi and coming back to our house, और हमें अगर पकड़ा किसी ने, and they did an alcohol check with you, that is wrong.
Taxis के लिए नहीं. It's only for private cars. So अगर हम अगर हम लोग let's say 3-4 दोस्त जा रहे हैं,
एक बंदे ने नहीं पी रखी,
ड्राइवर ने नहीं पी रहे, the guy who's not drinking, हमारा जो teetotaler है वो नहीं पी रहा है, बाकी लोग सारे they have had a couple of drinks, the car will be stopped. So is it
I stopped and asked, or there will be an action against you?
I don't know.
We need to be aware about it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I've heard, but it's
very, I like that one thing that Uttarakhand Police recently किया, a couple of years हो गए, और Project Maryada.
The police over here is very responsible.
Yes, I love
the police here. They're very responsible because tourism is very high here. There's a lot of drinking and driving.
Yeah.
Too much of youth.
Correct.
Accidents happen.
Correct.
And they have taken it onto themselves to educate them,
Correct.
protect them,
Correct.
and then put corrective measures like this. I think it's very, very important.
It's good. And I think I very highly appreciate the Uttarakhand Police. And उम्मीद से पुलिस का जो यहाँ का वो है because auto times पता है मेरे घर पे भी like we were partying late and around 11:30 basically you shouldn't be playing loud music, and I'm talking about like 3-4 years back. ठीक है, and police came, somebody might have called कि यार क्या चल रहा है and they came and they were very polite at 11:30 at the night, मतलब, and we were like क्या कर रहे हो यार तुम लोग यार, मत कर दो यार, हो गया ना, हो गई पार्टी, सो जाओ, मतलब like they're very polite, मतलब like, and I love that about them.
During your career, you've worked with a lot of people. What is that one thing that you see in a person and then you don't want to work with the person again?
To be honest, value system. I have a very keen eye of, like observing that what kind of values. It's like judging people, of course, and we all do it. Like ये ऐसा कोई इंसान नहीं होगा जो बोलेगा मैं जज नहीं करता लोगों को, और अगर वो बोलता है वो नहीं करता तो झूठ बोल रहा है. Everybody is judging. How you look, how you speak, how you वो सब करते हैं लोग. And I think अगर मेरे को लगता है इसका value system थोड़ा सा डावाडोल है. And by values I mean the values of ethics हो गए, integrity हो गई, and these kind of things basically.
So if you see that is lacking,
I don't want to work. I don't want to work on it. Basically, value system change नहीं कर सकता.
You cannot do that. So let's say you find a person who's generally not very polite, not very.
Doesn't matter. Aniket is not polite.
But the person is obsessed about only making money.
A few people are in our team. It's good, but their values are intact.
So that's what I'm saying. If the value is contrasting their behavior to do with money,
more important than what their goals are.
So that's the question.
What you said, no, making money is important, is a goal.
Yeah.
He's not polite. Is his way of reacting and interacting with things. But at the same, Aniket is not polite at all. Like, but at the same time, when I see that he makes very little sacrifices for his team members, कि ऐसा ये नहीं करते, and he thinks about them in a way कि यार he is not getting onto this, so इसमें इसको पैसे मिल जाएंगे तो he should get onto this because इसको, these kind of things. So he has that values intact in him. He has that value system.
That comes from family.
Yes, that comes from family, and that you cannot teach, you cannot change because वो मन की आवाज वाली बात. Your parents are speaking through you.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
So, but I'm not saying which is bad. मतलब ऐसे लोगों की जगह भी है सोसाइटी में जहाँ पे मतलब वैल्यू सिस्टम इंटेग्रिटी ना हो, चलाक हो, वो बढ़ाएगा आगे. मतलब I'm not saying that it's bad. सही गलत नहीं है इसमें कुछ. It's just that I don't want to work with them because मेरा वैल्यू सिस्टम अलाइन होना बहुत important है. And for that only reason, a lot of times my partnerships, like businesses, have fallen.
It's a learning. I think it's happened with a lot of us, with me as well. You make the wrong choice and then you figure out that, okay, this is not what I want.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll ask you a few questions, like I won't call it a rapid fire, but I'm going to give you objective type, I want objective type answers. So health first or money?
Health.
People or environment?
People.
Indoors or outdoors?
Both. I don't know, like, I said both because I also enjoy indoors a lot.
But I always see you outdoors.
Yeah, but I also enjoy outdoors.
Yeah, so I always see you outdoors,
Yeah.
Okay. Storytellers or rappers?
Storytellers.
Okay. Musicians first or filmmakers?
Filmmakers.
Okay, my last one for you.
Do you want to know why?
Yeah, tell me about the filmmakers bit.
I think film is a very beautiful art because it has the very easiest way of telling a story. Not easiest way of telling, it is easily comprehensible.
Penetrable.
Huh. And the impact of films is huge. You can't imagine.
True. True.
Films can change you.
Yeah.
Films can change you like anything.
It can change your life.
Yeah. But at the same time, music is mostly for entertainment.
True. Brilliant. This was an amazing conversation with you, Lakshya. Thank you so much. And I want to thank the audience also who sat down and watched this. He is one of the most interesting people that I know in Dehradun, and the way he has contributed to the art circle of Uttarakhand, it's absolutely mind-blowing. I hope you enjoy this episode on Arun Bhagwati Chronicles. I want you to watch it, make your notes, reach out. Please subscribe to our channel and have fun. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you so much, man.